Hi there. It's SVPod. Stanford Steve is in Lambeau.
Yes, sir. Across the street. Got here. We made it. Lubbock to Lambeau. Who would have thought it?
Direct.
Not direct. Not direct.
I'm in the heartbeat.
Did you fly today?
Yeah.
Not. Dirty.
Yeah, dirty.
Oh, how was it?
Got here. No stoppages.
Yeah.
Dice roll.
DFW was a crapshoot. We got out of there, flew to O'Hare in Chicago, and then got in a car for 3 hours, and we got here. We're here, and ready to rock. What a day.
Is it snowing there right now?
No, we are actually north of all the stuff from South Bend, Madison, all that. Did you see the end of the Wisconsin game?
Yeah, man.
That was snow. I mean, Notre Dame just finished. That was nuts. I'm looking out right out the window right now, and we had rain when I left Chicago, so that's what, north of South Bend, and missed that. So we hightailed it. We got out of there. I think the snow is going to miss us tomorrow. I could be wrong. I should not even be mentioning weather. I should not even be talking about it. You're the weather guy.
Well, you're the one with boots on the ground, so I'm just curious. You know, if there's snow falling, I'd like to know it. We'll be bundling up for the Monday nighter, Eagles Packers, to wrap up Week 10 in the National Football League. Steve, I'm in the heartbeat. America, the rising star of the Northeast, or whatever it's called.
Remember when you said you were never going back to Connecticut?
I do. Here I am.
You've been there a lot more than I have.
Here I am. Here for a lovely evening. Some friends throw a little dinner party. I left to come here to talk to people. I do want to share. This just happened. So I'm driving here, and I stopped to get some Diet Coke, obviously. And I stop at the Mobile on Route 4 in Farmington. And I want to send a shout to my guy Kevin, who was working there. Kevin informed me that I have won the top sportscaster in their. Every year they have a golf thing, Scottsdale or Pinehurst, and 8 years in a row, me, the winner. I said, well, that's great. That's great news because I'm 0 for 9 in the Emmys, but I've won 8 in a row. He's like, yeah, 8 in a row. You beat Fowler, Costas. He started naming a bunch of guys. I'm like, oh, that's very nice. Thank you, Kevin. I said, hey,
nice.
FaceTime your guys so I can tell them thanks. Well, they're all older and asleep, apparently. So I'm in the process of recording a video. I said, here, give me your phone. I'll tell them how much I appreciate it. As I'm recording this, I start getting heckled by a guy checking out at the line. It's Tabucky Jones.
Get out!
Swear to God.
Oh!
Hard-hitting New Britain.
Connecticut legend.
I am in the line at the Mobile recording a video for Kevin for my 8 consecutive wins of Sportscaster of the Year, Scottsdale to Pinehurst golf outing, to Bucky Jones at the checkout line. It's just us three guys having a moment.
Man's man.
Hell yeah, he was.
Oh, good God.
What? Syracuse, hard-hit New Britain, to Bucky Jones. He said, I think you might know who I am. I said, I'm Scott Van Pelt. He said, I'm Tabucky Jones. It's Tabucky Jones! So, the good news is I am stone sober and ready to talk football.
Yeah.
Steve, the bad news is I'm flying blind. Pretty much. Okay? You know those inspirational stories about footprints in the sand?
Yeah.
And when there's one set of footprints, it's when I carried you. I'm gonna need you to be the footprints.
For the lack of positivity we have provided to airlines, for the most part as I'll say it again, Lubbock to Dallas to O'Hare, car here. Mine were luckily. I mean, literally, the lady was walking up the flight from Lubbock to Dallas, and every person, I was in, let's say, 5A, and so it's 4 seats across.
That's
and
better
all
than
four.
that's better than A6, as we know.
Correct. And it's like, your flight's delayed. Your flight's delayed. Your flight's delayed. Mine, not. Thank God. We got here, got to Chicago. John, the driver, was outside, and we got here. So thanks to the airlines, American, thumbs up. Internet,
No mechanical.
both flights, internet, watched everything. So we're here. What a day. We could table the Lubbock thing because that's extensive for me. It's that special of a place, and it was that good, and I'm really, really happy they showed out because it got to the point leaving the basketball game last night where the season ticket holders were coming up to me saying, I think we're a little overconfident. And I'm like, listen, I've been there. I do it every week. You're going to be fine. Your team plays well. Everything's going to go right. They did that. But wherever you want to start, you start. I would think you got some eyes on Indiana. At least you saw the catch. That's the all-time, not the all-timer. That's where we got to start today.
I was impressed by the fact that, doubly impressed. Number one, Penn State's had a year from hell, right? Come off the almost championship appearance, semifinal loss to Notre Dame. You got a bunch of dudes coming back. You got Aller. All that's left to do, take the next step. No steps. They misstep, stumble. James Franklin out. Aller hurt. Haven't won a game since Villanova. Significant to some. They fight their asses off. And in a game that had a number of turnovers and swings and back and forth, and all of a sudden Penn State, 24-20. Indiana, shout to Chris Long, safe. They've got some wiggle room. They got a little buffer with where they all are screwing around. What do you got? What do you got? Penn State show what they had. They show what they're made of. Fight. Fans show up. They show out. They've got the lead. It's a, what is it, 10-play, 80-yard drive, and one of the sickest catches you'll ever see. Gus Johnson nearly lost him, screaming his head off. Just mayhem. You show you've got the championship stuff, in my opinion, with that kind of a drive. I don't know if it's a Heisman moment. You can certainly, that's what a Heisman winner would do. But what do you think? What do you make of what happened there?
I think they needed it. I think they needed it. Just talking to people today and this weekend, and this idea of we'll get to Ohio State, but just that idea, I'm like, you can't keep looking at the schedule. We're week 11, okay? At some point, the resume speaks for itself. Now, do coaches want to see their guys face certain things? Yeah. And I think Indiana might have not wanted that, thinking that they did everything in Oregon. And when you think of this Cignetti run, and I'm going back to James Madison, they majority of the time blew the doors off of everybody. You know, and then actually, last year gets magnified in 2 games, and those are the 2 losses, and then they prove themselves against Oregon. But you're still taking steps, and everything's built into this supposed Big Ten title game that's going to feature 2 undefeated teams and the 1-2 teams in the latest college football rankings. But to see them know they don't have Surratt today, they got Fisher back, who didn't play against Maryland. They're still, they got pretty banged up along this way. But also the big factor is Cignetti was the first guy to sign that extension, and it was because he's a Pittsburgh guy. It's PA, and we know how PA is. You're Philly, you're Pittsburgh, you're Allentown, you're State College, whatever. There's all these parameters. But this was a prove-it point, I think, for him, that all along this way, he knows how good his team is, and they keep falling off. They still don't have a Big Ten win, and his team's getting better and better, and the pressure's rising and rising. And on top of that, Indiana's never won there. So I think it was you saw Cignetti post game like you haven't seen him in this 2 years.
Say that again. Indiana's never what?
Never won there.
You hear his quote before the game? This team's never played here.
Yeah.
Meaning, I don't give a shit about 1970 or whatever. What difference does it make to them? This team's never lost here, and they still haven't.
Yeah.
You remember a few years back we had Fewy on, Mark Few, Gonzaga head coach, and they're number one, and they're boat racing everybody. And I said, you're inevitably going to end up in a game. Could be first weekend of the tournament, could be second, could be Final Four, where you come in to your huddle for the under 4 timeout, and you're down 3, and you haven't been in that spot all year. How do you prepare yourself and your team, rather, for a moment you haven't encountered all year? The idea of a moment where you're up against it and you got to prove it. A prove it moment. And was it Omar Cooper Jr.? That's the guy that made that catch?
Yeah. Plenty of catches. Plenty of catches today.
But that one in particular, shout to Jack Black, Tenacious D, levitation, Holmes. My man was in the air, and somehow the left toe comes down when the right foot doesn't. Just an incredible grab. And Penn State's been through worse this year. That's a gutting loss, but I admire the fight. But ultimately, that little smile from Cignetti in the end, I agree. There's a whole lot in that little smile.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, you know what the goal is, right? And you're along this ride, and they got a turnover at Iowa. Got a late touchdown. You saw Mendoza. That was after, I believe that was after Oregon, right? Yeah.
Correct.
You come home and you blow the doors out.
No, it was Iowa then Oregon.
Okay. But you've taken steps and you've seen progress, and that's why I think people are so different on Indiana, because they've won these games that have been tight and faced competition that has forced them to face adversity. So today was big. I know what else too. I mean, there's a lot of Penn State fans that wear white. I didn't know what it was today. There's a lot of red there. There's a lot of red, and it's I don't want to say galvanizing. It's plenty good going on in that locker room. But it was something like, again, man, anybody that wants to say anything about us, we got something here, whatever. We were a 2-touchdown favorite, but we got the job done when we had our backs absolutely against the wall with one chance to win the game, and they did it.
They took a sack on the first play of that drive and ended up getting a touchdown that wins the game. But you talk about red in the stadium. I mean, it's all new to them. They've never won there. Well, last week the game against Maryland was on CBS, and they had the graphic, the all-time losingest major college football program. It was them when Cignetti started. So this is brand new. They've never been this. I mean, basketball, they've got a bunch of banners. They're older, but it's a great tradition. Candy stripes, the whole bit. We know. This is brand new, and I think about teams like Georgia and Bama and Ohio State and people that have lived in that deep end of the pool and have gone to all these playoff games. I mean, if you're an Indiana football fan, you might go back to, might be some Antoine Randall-Els out there, but probably most of you are relatively new to this. This is something to be savored. It's a whole new space that you guys are living in for the time being, and winning like this was impressive. I think, you tell me, because I was watching it in the rain and wind and weather. I need to know what that drive was that Oregon went on to win the game. You want to talk? I mean, we're talking about championship stuff.
As impressive a drive as you can have. It reminded me of, I don't want to say Montana against the Bengals in the Super Bowl, but you remember when Montana would get the ball, down 4, all right, the Niners need a touchdown here, and he just does it, quick outs, using the clock, whatever. This was eye-opening because I felt that Nessler and Danielson losing their minds inside because Oregon didn't call timeout. They kept throwing the football. They ran it to get the first down. Clock stopped, and you feel the building. But their tempo is where you really felt the anxiety go back on Iowa, because the crowd keeps trying to get up for every play, but it's positive play, positive play, positive play. And then you're starting to get to 45 seconds, boom, shot, ball right in the absolute pocket. I think it was to Bradford on the right sideline. That's the one that got him in the field goal range.
Yeah, that was the big hit with very little time left on the clock.
And he never broke stride. The DB has perfect coverage, and Moore puts the ball right in the pot. Like, didn't have to extend his arms, like literally put it right in his stomach. And I'd love for you to be able to see the drive back, because now they got first down. They still went for it. They were taking shots to the end zone, and I know you always like that about, hey, don't take the foot off the gas. Don't assume your kicker's going to make a kick. Keep it on. Oregon did that, and Moore did a good job. He threw a couple uncatchable balls when they had the fades covered, but they as pinpoint on the road, like you think about coaching, coming off a bye, 2-minute drill, what quarterbacks love, how comfortable offensive coordinators are, a mindset of a team. And Lanning talking about after the game, all I told my guys in that last drive, breathe.
Breathe.
Breathe. In and out.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get to. He said that was what he said that was his mantra all week, and that his guys came up to him during that drive, and he said they're saying that to him. That's got to be validating as a coach, right? Oh. You're the adult. You're trying to instill that in your young people, and in the moment when the stress is rising, they're coming to you to remind you to do that. I was reading the game story. Atticus Sappington, the young man that made the kicks, said the moment was made for me. I truly believe that, and that's great. But I mean, that was a weather game. I mean, it was sort of classic Big Ten where it looked miserable throughout, and you're thinking at any point, any point in the operation, ball's wet. Is the snap right? Is the hold? Do you trust the moment? I mean, your season, your playoff hopes are done, most likely. I mean, they take a hell of a dent if you don't make that, but they made that. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, I loved Iowa in this spot. I thought they could win the game. One of our producers on the SportsCenter side, was just, I feel for him, because this is it was the exact script, both Iowa and Oregon. Both Indiana and Oregon. Their home losses, excruciating. And it's the exact script that they've got to have to win them. Mm-hmm. And they got them. They fumbled on about the 13-yard line, Oregon did.
Yeah.
You got to be not perfect, but clean. They went on a 93-yard drive to take the lead, and then Oregon, much like Indiana, in the face of it on the road. Yeah. That's the good stuff, Steve. That's what you want to see. November, they remember what you do in November. That's the old cliche. Well, it's kind of changed a little bit now with the playoff. There's more layers to it, and January is what matters, but you're not going to get to that grid in January unless you do stuff like this in November, in moments like this.
I need to know what game you're watching.
I got Colorado State on the field. Okay. They're not going to get there. I got them in winners for 5 in 1 week, Steve. 5 in 1 week. You hear this? Hold on. That's the pulse. That's the pulse. It's very faint. It's not a virile blood pumping in the heart, but it's still vaguely. Bonus winner on Texas Tech. I gave a bonus winner at the end of the show.
It did. I was actually watching Winners with Reese at the hotel, and I said, Reese, this could be an all-timer. I said, there were talks this week that we were just going to make one pick worth 6 points, like the old boomer. And Reese, sat up. He's like, is he really going to do this? Because I'm all for it. There's no rules. It's your show. And he's, yelling at the TV. He's like, Scott, do it. Do it. And you didn't need it.
I'm too principled. I'm too principled to just start making up shit where I make a game's worth one. I tweeted out picks a couple weeks ago. They weren't on television. I could have just acted like it didn't happen. I refuse to do that. You gotta own them. And so we gave out the 5 on the regular segment, and then I thought about it.
Then the guns up just started going.
Well, because the more I thought about it, let's just dive into this game. The more I thought about it, the more I was convinced. All credit to BYU. All right? You win your games. Haven't lost. I'm handing out credit. I also didn't think you were going to face that defense and do anything. And you mostly didn't. There's some drives that came up short, but just Texas Tech had to settle for a bunch of field goals, or this game is exactly what I imagined in my brain, which was like 40-10. And so, good for Texas Tech. I'm curious, Steve, about that place. Rosillo gave me an incredible voice message the other night about where you all stayed that week, about talking about the 2008 game where it was just, he said it was like literally scary. Not that you're going to get hurt, but just, it was just the combination of menace and chaos and intensity and everything that surrounded it. You wanted all the weird. You wanted to stake the size of your back. But it felt like a spot that's a little bit scary for them because this is kind of new territory for them. Not quite like Indiana knew, but knew where they're the power broker here. They have expectation, and they're supposed to win. And they do, but the build-up to it, with you all in town, what all is that like?
Yeah, I was pumped you ran the vault the other night on Thursday night. I thought it captured what that night was.
That night being 2008, the Crabtree catch with the second left, the drop picks from Texas that could have ensured the victory they didn't get. And, you know, they kicked off, Steve, you said they kicked off from the 5. Actually, it was the 7.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
7-yard line.
Damn it, I was wrong. 17 years later, I was wrong.
That's all right.
But it sounded better. Anyway, first off, Scott, the place is totally different. The facility is the best facility in the country. I'm not exaggerating.
Really?
It is Alabama, Georgia, LSU, I don't care, Ohio State, Michigan, and to see Desmond walk through there and Reese and I walk through there and we're going around, I'm like, they have a walk-through room that has a big screen, oh my God, probably wider than your garage. And the ability to put up a scout team or the team that you're playing, put up a look, and for the scout team to get in that look and run the play that team runs so the defense doesn't see it and they're facing the other way and they're going through it like it, and that's the Patrick Mahomes walkthrough room. It's just incredible. That football building wasn't even there in 2008. Like I walked that same walkway where we had our set. We were right outside the ramp when there was one ramp that went into the stadium, and across the street was the Chili's, and I was like, yeah, Chili's isn't there anymore. They've kind of bought and
Baby
that landed. Yeah, but it's gotten bigger. But what I love about Lubbock is that it is 5 hours from Dallas. It's 9 hours from El Paso. It's 3 hours from Amarillo. It's far enough away from Odessa and Permian, which is high school football in Texas, the whole thing. That place, in more ways than any other place, is invested. Everybody wants to talk about the money that they spent on the roster and all that. I get it. But there's nothing else there. They got a place, they got a highway. It's the Loop. And the Loop just goes all the way around Lubbock. And then once you get inside, it's all campus. Now, I don't have any experience outside the Loop. That's where it might get really weird. You don't want to be outside the Loop.
Yeah.
But when you're inside the Loop, man, it is guns up, wreck 'em. It's just everybody is all in. And, to hear people talk about Chris Beard and what he did and bringing them to a Final Four, a final game, and be so close. And then to see Grant McCaslin, who is an absolutely unbelievable dude, brought us into his office, talked to him for an hour and a half Thursday, and see their facility and see that team that they got. That's a whole other conversation. But this place is just fully invested in what this school is trying to do. And to see Joey McGuire, to get a text from him on Monday that I've never met him and say, hey, anything you need, reach out, blah, 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 blah. And we'll get to what I did reach out to him for later on. But it's just, you talk to him and you're like, he's a high school coach. This is a giant high school program. The surroundings, everybody's in. Like, so many people I saw at the basketball game, like, hey, you ready to go? Yeah, like, we're not going out tonight. We got early food. They were paying caterers and bartenders to show up at 3 a.m. when the lots open at 4 a.m. to have everything ready like it was a normal 3:30 or 2:30 game. And then you go in the stadium for the last hour of the show, and it's like, whoa. It's McCaslin's talking on the PA. Mahomes walks in. We're right in front of the student section. And as I'm sitting there, I had a feeling this is going to happen. And we do it every week as we get to these home teams. And I'm like, can you channel this awesome, awesome energy you have into playing well? When you dial it in, when the ball gets kicked off, can you channel everything and focus on what you practice on all week? And McGuire talked about it on the show today. He's like, once that ball gets kicked off, we talked about whatever we did this week and all the hype, whatever, we have to play football because this is a damn good team we're playing. And on the other side, I'm like, BYU, you got everything you want. This whole show and everything is about Lubbock and Texas Tech and about a goddamn game that was 17 years ago that half these players were barely even born.
Right.
Like, you have all the motivation in the world. And to see that coincide with what happened, I really, the last hour being in there, I'm sitting there, I'm like, because I really like the under going in, because I still wonder about both offensive lines. But I think the world of both defensive approaches, and that's what happened. BYU struggled, but Texas Tech, the first two series, he takes bad sacks, almost, takes him out of field goal range to get that first field goal.
Yep.
But that defense is real, man. That place is real. It's as good as it gets, and like I said, if they ever get a home game in the playoff,
yeah,
oh buddy. And I pointed out on SportsCenter today when on Game Day, we put the bracket out, and I'm looking at that 11th ranked team that played there in 2008 that I was for. If that's ever a home game in the first round, oh my Lord, it'll be incredible. But the place has changed so much, but the genuineness of the people, man.
Sure.
It's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, it's because it's
good.
Again, it's new. There's so many of the power brokers that are the usual suspects that have lived there, right? I mean, you got Ohio State, who looks the part. They average giving up about 8 points a game in the Big Ten this year. 8. Pretty good. You got Bama that's lived there. I mean, so many people that have been title winners. It's not new. Texas Tech, let's be honest. I mean, they were always a team we looked at as some sort of 7-on-7 football. You can't
I said
win.
to everybody I met this week, I was like, I still can't get over it. It's week 11. I've watched every single game, going back, watch the tape. I'm dumbfounded that I'm watching Texas Tech play football, and they have a defense. I've never seen it in my life.
No, and that's not being
Right?
disrespectful. They played ridiculous nonsense football. The Baker Mayfield Patrick Mahomes box score is the old timer. It was like 1,200 yards of offense. There was no defense of any kind, and so it was dismissible. It was easy to dismiss because it was entertaining, but it wasn't championship football of any kind. Mm-hmm. It wasn't, and now perhaps it is. I'm really interested in how did Mahomes, and maybe you guys, I'm sure he's got to be the king of Lubbock, so I don't know if you guys got a chance to just sit around and bullshit, but I'd love to hear his perspective of, hey, I was here then too, and it wasn't like this. I mean, just to see it now with the full weight of a billionaire behind it, the alignment of clearly school, city, the whole bit. Did you get any sense of his perspective of just how different Lubbock now is than it was?
Yeah, a couple times. He came over, right? He wanted to come out early on the field. And as you can imagine, we're right in front of the student section. Of course, it's on the BYU sideline. So all people that have Texas Tech passes are coming over. And like we put some bullshit rope that's literally behind me.
How'd that work out?
Yeah, it just kept getting closer and closer. I actually had to tell one of our social people, like, hey, enough with your phone on top of my head. Got to do a hit here and give out a pick. But Patrick came right over to me, shook my hand. I was like, man, thanks for doing this. This is awesome. And he's looking up, and he's like, this is what we wanted. This is what we wanted. And then he gets on the set before we're going on air, and he's like, I am so jealous of this. He's like, playing here. He's like, I will give whatever we need. He's like, but look at this. And like, fireworks are randomly going off. The music's incredible. They had, I'm sure you saw it. If you haven't, I'll send it to you. They had Uncle Brent voice the hype video before they ran on the field. They tweeted it out yesterday. It's incredible. And so that's on top of it. The Masked Rider. But Patrick, I really, to see him in full appreciation mode.
Just think about it, though.
Dude, yeah.
Think about what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying for you so much as the listener or the viewer. Here's a multiple MVP, multiple Super Bowl champion who's on GOAT trajectory. Like that's a different conversation. Mm-hmm. But Mahomes, no one's done what he's done through this stage of his career. As good as there is in the NFL, going back to where he played, looking around going, I'm so jealous. Yeah. Think of what it would take to make Patrick Mahomes jealous in a football context. And here he is saying it about the current Texas Tech team and what they get to enjoy. And they've earned it. But I think that's amazing context.
What are those sunglasses that your sons wear? That he wears?
Pit Vipers.
Yeah, I believe there's an Adidas version. I don't want to get in the way there. But he walks out in those, Scott, and immediately takes them off and just starts shaking his head. And
that's so cool.
Yes. And then came over and shook my hand, and we talked for a couple seconds. And it was just, as you just pointed out, that guy of that magnitude to be back in a place where he tried his damnedest. I think our researcher Marissa had it. That dude scored 40 points 10 times in college football games and lost.
There you go. That's what we're trying to say.
It's insane.
You don't need 40 to win with the defense they've got. There was one of those nights that we went through it, and it was the law firm defensive ends and their linebacker. We were just going through just the defensive statistics. They had BYU mostly in a blender throughout the day, and that's not a knock to BYU. It's a good football team. But Texas Tech, I think I could say pretty confidently is the best team in that conference.
Yeah, I thought they proved it today. I'm trying to find 1 second. I texted Coach McGuire on the plane, and what was it? He had a great response. I just said, we do this all the time, and I'm like, what a great day to cap a great weekend. I've seen plenty of teams falter in this element, and he just said, what a great day for our program. Let's keep moving forward. We know we need it today, and we're going up, guns up. Wreck 'em. Great
it is dude. A big day. You make the great point. When you're lucky enough to be in these environments and feel that energy, there's no guarantee that you use the energy for fuel in a positive way, because you can burn up. You know what I mean? It can eat you up, and the moment can be too much, and you use that fuel in a negative way, and you stumble all over yourself. So.
Yeah, before the show, I was talking to Coach Saban about that before we went out, and I'm like, you think it's too much, and he of course made a great. He's like, you don't know if you can handle it until you get out there, and that's what I thought. I thought McGuire had the same approach, just like, we've done all the prep. Now we got to go do it with all that. Like, you can't help with all that. Yeah, College GameDay is a distraction. Like, everybody's talking about it. The crowd's amped up with, the whole thing. But it was really, really impressive. And it's always great to see the day capped off with a win. And that's a different kind of show that we do, with a noon Eastern kick, and we're on the field
for sure,
giving it its big game treatment. And it was awesome to see the home team come through in that element. Really, really special day. And as Coach McGuire says, it's a special place. And
everybody's got a hand signal down. So that's this one. All right.
Yeah.
I got another school in Texas, Giga Maggies.
That means undefeated.
What?
Only one in Texas.
They went to Missouri, or Missouri, as some say.
Yeah.
And Texas, I said it. I made it very clear on winners. Look, you guys think I don't like you? Quite the contrary. I just think home underdog +7. Get you guys won by 4. You win. Winners wins, or you win 38-17. And that defense that there have been some questions about, right? Because they went to Arkansas and Arkansas scored a bunch of points. Missouri didn't. Reed continues to grow in confidence. I didn't see significant chunks of that, but every time I saw it, they were doing something good.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's other than to give them the acknowledgement of a road dub. Again, I mean, Perbula hurt, so you have a freshman quarterback, true freshman, but you're still on the road. And look at Indiana on the road, Oregon on the road.
Yeah.
It's a chore. I don't care what conference you're in, SEC, Big Ten, whatever. I mean, you go on the road, it's hard to win, and A&M hadn't lost. So they're right there at the top. Neither Ohio State nor Indiana gives up any ground. So where they are in the playoff, whatever, but they're the only undefeated team, big-time team in the state of Texas, right?
Undefeated is the key word. Yes, there's plenty of big-time teams.
I said undefeated big time because I don't want to miss some undefeated team from Texas and somebody's going to tell me from wherever it's at.
I think Incarnate Word has a couple losses.
There you go.
But watching that game, I thought it was I don't want to say simple, but a needed plan. They go up 7-0. And Missouri's still moving the ball, running the football. It gets late in the first half, and Zollers is trying to make a play. And again, Elko, with his damn pressures, voids the protection, has a free runner. That free runner gets his hand on the football and tips it right into a rusher who's in stride, who runs it down
running
the
it the other way.
line.
And that was I saw that live. That was
and that makes it 14-0, and that's cataclysmic.
They didn't score on that play, but they scored in the subsequent play.
Yeah, and so it's 14-0 instead of 7-0 before the half, and you're really up against it with Missouri, knowing that you have your backup quarterback in. But then again, A&M gets the ball, Concepcion, quick screen, 50 yards. Now it's 21, and now Elko can get in his bag and throw pressures on you. I really, the ability to come back from negative plays. Missouri made some plays defensively, but to your point, Reed continues to extend plays and make plays. And those receivers, man, I know there's great groups out there, but if you want to put, I don't know if there's a percentage of big plays to touches out there, whatever. Concepcion and Craver make play after play. And when they get a lead, you're in trouble because Elko's that good defensively. And Missouri was up against it today. You got it. Missouri had to play that game from ahead today. They went down 7-0. The 14-0 thing puts a slammer on it, and now you get out of your element. And it was too much for Missouri to overcome. But credit to Missouri. Like that's a really good win. Off a bye and going on the road.
Oh no, Steve is frozen. No, he's not frozen. Reed, you want a clean game. No picks, 20 of 29, 8 different guys caught the ball. I'm with you on Concepcion. I told somebody at this shindig the other night, we were talking ball, and I just said, I like him. I like watching him once he catches it as much as anyone, because it seems like their scheme always has him in space, moving at top speed. The way they design routes, he catches it in space at top speed, and then it's fight song. That's an excellent football team.
Yep. I will say, though, for the first time, their defense showed up on the road.
That's right. That's been
big.
the big question.
And I expect that from Elko off a bye. So I thought that was really big.
They have Texas at the end of the thing, giving me in College Station next week. I need to know how Auburn lost. I don't understand.
Oh, gosh. Oh. Probably the craziest game of the day. Ashton Daniels was awesome. Cam Coleman was incredible. And I thought Stinchcomb that called the game made it a great point. Like, you know, we hear about the Jeremiah Smiths and the Ryan Williams, and you look at the situations that they're in. I always try and talk, we talk about that at the NFL level, right? Like NFL quarterbacks getting drafted. What kind of situation you going into? But Cam Coleman today proved to me he's as good as any of those guys that are on the perimeter in the country. He was absolutely incredible. And to see Auburn make plays offensively, with a new guy in charge, and then to see the defense take lapses. But I also want to give credit to that Vandy offense, because Pavia, answered every single bell. I thought Nick told a great story today on game day about, he was talking to Ty Simpson, and he's like, Pavia came over to me after we beat them, and Pavia ran right up to me. He's like, we're going to see you again. We're going to see you again. Like that, it's the ultimate mindset. The kid has it. And I thought it was a really interesting call that Clark Lee made. They had a 4th and 1. It would have been like a 45-yarder, I think.
And they left it in his hands.
Yeah, and he stumbles. And then Auburn, but factored into that decision was Auburn getting the ball and not having any timeouts, and that's what cost Auburn. They had a couple completions they had to make over the middle. They get there, and then they run out of time. And in overtime, Beck and Jerry Kill and Pavia had one in their bag for that reverse jump pass, which is insane. And everybody in the building knew where the ball was going to go to on 4th down, and Auburn threw it to Cam Coleman, and they threw it out of bounds. But the Auburn, I think it's 5? I think it's 5 conference losses now, and not one by over 10 points. It's nuts.
Yeah, I saw quotes about Durkin about the group staying together, and everybody across the country is calling them. And look, I get that they've lost. I get that they've lost a lot of games, and they have. But there's talent on that roster that's a lot of it, and it's what's helped keep them in games. Speaking of Auburn here, and so they've lived this time and time again. Had Missouri, had a drop against Missouri at home, coulda, shoulda. Had Georgia down 10-0. Did they score? Did that ball get ripped out before they crossed?
Every kind of way.
You name it. They've invented ways to cause great pain to their group. But give credit to Clark Lee's group, and he gave credit to Pavia. That's a guy that you can have all the ingredients, right? But you need to have a fire starter, right? You need to have the guy that takes the ingredients and makes it all go together in a way that's changing. That's the evolution of a program. And Pavia's been that for Vanderbilt, period.
Yeah.
Period. I can't think of anyone who more single-handedly is responsible for how different a team is. And you're talking about forever. Vanderbilt, my whole life, has been a punchline. James Franklin went there, and they won some games, but it was a little bit of the division they were in, and they kind of took advantage of some scheduling, and that's just the truth, okay? They won some games that mattered, but they weren't this. Not close to this. And Pavia's a guy, and that attitude you talk about, running up to Ty Simpson and saying that. Good for him. Good for him for being wired that way. And just reading the way that Clark Lee spoke about his guy, because he knows what that guy is to them. And it's how you change the historic kind of footprint of a football team. What they are after, they can figure it out then. But they've still got him right now. I don't know what the path looks like, just because that conference is so crowded.
Yeah.
But is there a path?
It's as thin of a line as there is because they need Tennessee to jump up, and that's their only win that can help their resume if Tennessee remains ranked. But it's a very, very thin line. I would even say thinner than Miami's line, and they're ranked ahead of Miami. But just going back to Vandy, I do want to make this point. We keep talking about Pavia, and I've going back and watching games. When we're talking about being as valuable, and I get your point about Vanderbilt in our lifetime of being Vanderbilt and what he's done for that program. But this year solely for representing a team and being as valuable to a team as Pavia, Haynes King is in that conversation. Haynes King has had as good a year as anyone as far as a team success. But I totally get where you're coming from. I just want to make a point moving forward. I'm not going to mention Pavia without mentioning Haynes King, and Haynes King was on a bye. The dude went for over 500 yards of offense last week in a loss. Like, he did
Against
everything
NC
he
State,
possibly
right.
could for the first loss of the season.
Yeah.
But he's been as important to his team as Pavia has been this year. I'm not saying in the total grand scheme of things.
Yeah, but
I'm
as
saying
as I'm talking about Pavia, I'm thinking, I'm certain there are other teams that you could say this guy, that guy. He's not on his own. It's not a list of one. Certainly, Haynes King's, without him, they probably don't win the close game at Colorado. They probably don't win the game at Duke. Although that was a weird one. I mean, your point's well taken. But Georgia Tech, at least in its history, has been more than just a video of the Fidels dancing to Rocky Top when they upset Tennessee. They've had moments in time, and I think Pavia is just that, coinciding with the influx of Doe and the influx of their small but now very modern facility, which is packed, I want to say, for the 5th time. You got Reese Witherspoon there saying hi to Clark Lee, all that stuff. I mean, it's a very different experience there.
Yes, we'll add, Pavia made throws today. He made a lot of throws when they needed him, and it was really awesome. I on that drive tonight, like, that was the game. I mean, the 3:30s were ending, the 7:30s were starting. I'm like, I am not leaving this game in Nashville. It was absolutely tremendous.
Before you mentioned Miami, the ACC is its whole cleanup on aisle 7, wreckage in all directions. Holy shit. What a disaster for the ACC today. But I'm at a soiree. Which, by the way, can I take a left? Can we take a 20 on this? I have an important question. Do you like champagne?
I do.
I had this function, but then I have a work function. I got to be here for a pod. So, got to be responsible. Can't get shithoused. So I'm drinking
shithouse off of champagne.
I'm drinking Diet Coke. I'm drinking water. But then on the elaborate
toast.
set, it was a toast.
You gotta have a toast, yeah.
Correct. And there was a flute with some champagne. Well, who am I to be rude to? I'm not going to be a rude party goer. I'm going to be a proper guest. Clink some glasses, take a little, not a swig, but just a little
Taste.
Wet the whistle, wet the beak. Shout to Big Cat. And let me tell you something, buddy. There's a line about that alcoholics say that 1's too many and 10's not enough. Well, 1 sip of champagne was too many because I wanted to find the coldest bottle at the party and find a quiet room and just take some tugs on that, because champagne is just, if it's ice cold, oh, is it delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, it's delicious. And I don't, I'm just going to crack it open on a Tuesday afternoon or a Thursday night. But at this function, there it was, and oh, what a delight.
Scott, thanks to the Spurs and Lakers shooting 94 free throws the other night, we worked a little later than usual Wednesday night. I got on a 6:15 flight Thursday morning, and lady comes around, you want something to drink? I'm like, do you have champagne? She's like, we do. I'm like, is it cold? She's like, ice cold. I'm like, little mimosa. Put me to bed. fantastic.
So in review,
more champagne, a splash of OJ.
Our guy walking had I believe it was the, wow, damn it, what's the name of the skit? It's not the International. I'm going to look it up. He did he had a thing walking on Saturday Night Live where whenever I do the line when a team celebrates and I say champagne, that's walking. What is it? The Continental.
Oh, yes.
And he's like, come here. Now I'm doing Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. My skittish little pixie. My tempestuous doe. Anytime I have champagne, I think about the Continental. Foo Fighters. I had mine at a dinner party. Steve had his on an early morning to Lubbock. He's smashing mimosas. I'm not judging anybody. I hope you got a blanket and shut it down.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, all of this is to say, I don't know what happened in Alabama LSU. It looked like a classic low-scoring fumbles, long drives, missed kicks. I don't know what happened.
Both kickers missed inside 30-yarders.
Great.
Nussmeier continued to miss wide-open guys. Alabama capitalized on some turnovers. LSU had a horrific sequence at the end of the half that gave Alabama the ball to get another 7 right before the end of the half. The second half, Van Buren comes in. Of course, LSU finds something. They battle back. They get more than you thought opportunities and couldn't cash in.
I saw they had a chance. 17-6. They got it. What is it? Turnover. Yep. They had a chance to get closer. Only got 3, and then there was, I don't know, hijinks late that allowed Bama to cover.
Yeah, as you do in that building.
Yeah.
I still think when I watch a man, Ty Simpson makes NFL throws.
I agree. I didn't see him tonight, but I mean, I've thought all year.
Like when they need, I think it was, it was still 0-0 at like 3. Yeah, LSU missed a chippy. Alabama got the ball, I want to say like 3 minutes left in the first quarter, and Simpson made a couple throws to Bernard. They go down, they get a field goal, so now they got the lead. But the throws he made to get the next 2 touchdowns were just fantastic. When he gets time, he will dice you up. They ran a great concept down on the goal line to get that last touchdown before the half, where they knew LSU was trying to blitz it from one side. McElroy drew it up perfectly, and they invert the slot in the X, and Williams comes open for the touchdown. But when they needed it, Simpson was really good. I still wonder, they got Oklahoma coming in next week. They still haven't shown they can run the ball consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get up against, a possible Georgia rematch or an A&M game or whoever you're going to play in the playoff that is good against the run, which you're going to face because all teams that make the playoff usually are good against the run, you can't be too one-dimensional. But that's the one thing I think I can't read too much into the defense because I don't think anything at all of LSU's offense. But it was cool to see Frank Wilson have his guys battle and to hear Blake Baker talk about what he doesn't have without Whit Weeks talking about it's like not having your quarterback on that side of the ball. I thought was pretty special. So credit to Alabama. That was like a no-win situation win. We documented Coach O's lame duck game a couple years ago where they went in with Max Johnson at quarterback. He knew he was going out the door, and he went into Nick's house and battled him with Bryce at quarterback, and Max Johnson throws the ball in the last play of the game with a chance to win. Those two teams play all-timers. I've been to so many of them. It's still special, but I got to give credit to Alabama for doing what they needed to do to get the win.
You mentioned Georgia. They played early, spotted Mississippi State 7, and then Georgia had 4 consecutive touchdown drives. So didn't need owls and houses. Just hunkered down, went for 567 of offense. That's been a place where even if you won, whether you're Tennessee or Texas or if you didn't win, it was Arizona State earlier this year. It's been a tougher place to play, so to fall behind early in that early window where you just never know your guy's going to be sleepy or what they're going to be, and then to find solid footing and then rip off, like I said, 28 on 4 straight drives. They haven't had a lot of wins like that where they've been able to cruise. I'm sure it's nice to have one of those for Coach Smart.
Yeah, as soon as I said I want Mississippi State plus the points for my only loss today, I looked at Saban's looking across at me at the desk. He's like, "You're really doing it?" I'm like, "Yeah." And of course, it's the 1 week that Georgia plays a great first half. It was over at halftime. That offense continues to get better and better, and everybody wants to talk about their defense, but that offense is good, and they're getting better, man. Gunner's been great in the run game. And their offensive line has been healthy. Yeah.
Balanced. Over 300 on the ground, and in the end, 264 through the air. So, again.
Texas off a bye week. Next week in Athens will be fun, man.
Oh, yeah.
Will be really fun.
Now is where I'm starting to bounce around and trying to figure out what did I want to. I mean, Ohio State, I mentioned late touchdown, bang that big-ass drum. Purdue.
Oof. Yeah.
Significant to some, but Ohio State they've game control. I mean, they've just dominated. They've dominated. And again, I believe, like I said at the stat earlier, I just did some rough math, and I'm not great at it, as we've discussed, but I'm pretty sure I can average it out. It's about 8 a game in the Big Ten, and they go Rutgers and UCLA before they play Michigan. So
I still don't think you need to use all 10 fingers for 10 touchdowns allowed. I think they're at 8 or 9 now. They did have Carnell Tate come up a little gimpy in pregame today. He did not play, and
correct.
They got to prove again that they have the best player in the sport. Career high 10 catches, I believe.
4. Throw it to 4.
Yeah.
It snowed in the Notre Dame game. Second year in a row, they get Navy with a good record and just obliterate them. Some conversation just about where they're ranked relative to some other people, and we've had this conversation. I made the point very early in the year. They're fine. They're Notre Dame, and they're going to be fine. That Pitt game at Pitt, nooner. Pitt on winner is just right now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Put that in a shirt.
It's fine. But their resume at the end is going to be a lot of we're Notre Dame.
And they're going to have a home game in the playoff.
That's fine. I have no problem with that. I think they're a good football team.
Oh, I think they're very good. It'll be fun. Maybe we'll go 6-hour pregame show for that one outside in South Bend in December.
Maybe it'll be snowing like it was at the Wisconsin game. Shout out to Wisconsin. They've had a miserable season. They knock off ranked Washington 13-10. They said Fickle's sticking around this year.
Yeah.
It's the same line everyone uses. We're going to just donate more resources to this. I mean, you could throw money at it all you want. Doesn't mean it's going to work. And that's not specific to them. That's anyone. That's any of you out there that want to just write checks for buyouts. Fine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
LSU spent a shit ton of money this year, and how'd that work?
Yeah.
Fire their coach.
You have to get quarterback right. You have to.
Right. Well, and then they got Edwards from Maryland. He got hurt in first game and really hasn't played since. And they've also not been remotely close to anything that looks like a Wisconsin team. The identity of who they've been forever. Mm-hmm. Tough against the run and can run the ball. I mean, that's not been them. But they, on a snowy night in Madison, good for them to have a happy night as they get a victory. Steve, the ACC, please.
Assess.
Well, I mean, Wake Forest all week off the air to anyone that we talked to, probably Falika in our text thread, and my guy Kevin Sheehan, who I reference in Winners, my best friend from home forever, whose smell test picks are, he gives out picks. He was 70-41 going in today, and I think he had another 5-1 day. It's outrageous.
I mean, I'm trying to work in Lubbock, Texas, and I haven't heard from Sheehan in, 10 weeks before the preseason. And I get a text, are you going to tweet out winners? I'm like, you want to see your record in the big board.
He wants to see it. That's what he wanted.
In that horrible picture that we put up there.
I think it's like an industry headshot where he's holding his chin like some kind of a fucking bozo. You know what you do? You just say, no, I'm not doing that. Here, I'll just sit here like this. Here's what I look like. He looks kind of like me. He just looks like a washed old white guy with glasses. No, hold your chin like you're thinking. No. How about no? But I'm sure we both.
How old do you think that picture is?
I don't know. 10 years, 5 years, who knows?
You've killed him unmercifully for that picture.
But I was also giving him love for his picks because
I know.
Off the air when we talked at one point, he goes, "Who are you giving out?" I said, "Well, Wake Forest on the field. My God, they lost by 35 points the week before. They're on the road getting less than a touchdown from the ACC's best team. Figure it out." Now, to be fair, Virginia's quarterback got hurt in this game. Mm-hmm. But they've been pulling rabbits out of hats, man. Washington State, North Carolina, Cal, and then finally no more rabbits, and you lose your quarterback. But they lose to Wake at home. So I don't know what that does to them, but it obviously isn't helpful. Cal beats Louisville on a 4th down overtime play where they say, let's go for it. Good for them. And they score and win. So Louisville and Virginia both fall. What's that mean for Miami now, who looked like they were on life support? Do you know? I'm asking because I never know how tiebreaker stuff. I don't know. There's 700 teams in the conference.
Yeah, here's the issue.
What's the issue, Steve?
That's Virginia's first loss.
Even though they lost to NC State because it wasn't a conference game. What does that even mean?
So you still have Pitt at 5-1. SMU is still 5-1 with the win over Miami. Duke lost to UConn today, but they're still 4-1 with a loss to Georgia Tech. Louisville, Miami, like that was the one team Miami couldn't have lose out of all those, and it was Louisville because they lost to Louisville. So I'm guessing Georgia Tech and Virginia are still all right because they're going to have tiebreakers. But Pitt plays all these teams.
Pitt.
And then Pitt's
Hail
next
to Pitt.
game, Pitt.
No,
this
dude.
is
Narduzzi. He didn't say it. He didn't mean it.
No, I know. Listen, I got nothing bad to say about Pittsburgh. Great
You just
town,
called it
especially in the
armpit.
Summer.
It's not flattering.
It's an old UConn joke. That's
Okay,
all.
great.
I didn't mean it. I said last week on Bad Beats what is it? Mustard helmet, mustard pants, white jersey. That uniform is incredible for a road uniform.
It is nice.
But yeah, the kicker here to me is SMU and Duke. I don't know how that translates.
I don't either.
Because everybody's going to talk about the ACC this week and what a madhouse it is. And everybody's going to talk about Pitt because Pitt, everyone's talking about how they play everybody, but they're playing Notre Dame in an out-of-conference game coming up this week. So another week that we're not going to be able to figure anything out.
You know what Dan Mullen can't figure out is how to put his hat on. Did you ever see Batman back in the day? There was a guy, the Penguin, and he would have these henchmen, and they all wore these idiotic black knit caps. Mullen they're at Colorado State, and they're rolling, so they're CSU not going to get there. And Mullen has this hat on.
He's wearing a hat or a visor?
No, dude, it's a wool winter hat, but
he's outside. Okay.
Well, it's freezing, and it's not on correctly, so it's just sort of sticking up at the top. It looks like the top of like a bomb pop.
Shoot him a text.
You like bomb pops?
What's a bomb pop?
What do you mean, what's a bomb pop?
Red, white,
How do you
blue?
not know what a bomb pop is?
Hold on. We have 9 million popsicles in our freaking freezer. A bomb pop's a red, white, and blue, right?
Thank you.
All right.
The top sort of looks like a nipple.
You didn't have to go there, but it is.
But
Saturday,
everyone's thinking
11:30
it.
Central.
And the top of Mullen's head, it's just kind of an ill-fitting cap. Pull that thing down, big fella.
I'm trying to do the Mountain West standings now, because if you're interested and can get out to Las Vegas on
Sunday. We arrive Sunday.
Saturday, Utah State is playing at UNLV.
And
Could be significant meaning in the Mountain West Conference.
well, I'm not
And
flying
I'm
out.
trying to give you something to get in the way of the tables, because I know
don't
how
know.
you get comfy at the tables.
You and I will be playing pie. I need to arrange
All right.
gaming credit. You told me that you would be sending me the paperwork. I need the papers. I don't have the papers. I need the credit so I could sit with you and scream lop lop or whatever the things are that you say during Pie Gal.
All right. Well, you're throwing a wrench in everything, because now, I mean,
What
you're
wrench?
getting 2 nights. 2 nights. Oh no! Time out.
Here we go.
We got a night here and a night here,
Yep.
and work in between.
Yeah, but that doesn't
If
mean
I
we
know
can't.
my man, in years prior, that has not been a good equation.
No, hasn't always been. You don't need a distracted
that-
host.
It's kind of documented, but not. But sources. I'm just gonna say sources.
We'll be fine. I think we just tiptoe into the pool and find out, how do you play this game, Steve? I'll just follow your lead. Could I get a marker, please? I don't know. I'm very nervous about playing. I've told the story. I think I told the story on the air about my friend that went to play Pie Gal up $58,000 and had to borrow money to come home because, as he said, I either had too many or not enough, and they would never tell me the difference.
Which is not even close to what you need.
I understand. I think the crux of it was he had been overserved and had a pile of chips and just figured he'd fire at the Pie Gal table. And the next thing you
Not
knew,
the way you do it at the Pie Gal table.
doesn't sound like it.
And I know what's going to happen. You're going to say, as you always do, this is stupid.
1,000%.
No,
I'm saying
you're not going to play. You're not going to play four hands.
No chance, because I'm not going to understand it. It's going to be, I'll say it's stupid, and then I'll go to a place where I'm more comfortable. And I understand 8-3 against anything. Yes, please, double.
And we have one of those rooms.
7-4, 9-2, 6-5.
Proper.
Double, double, double. Any of them. Like in and out. Double, double. Ace-5 against anything. Safe. Safe.
Speaking of, shout out to my guy Chris Long today. He went out guest picker today at Virginia. ACC Huddle was in Charlottesville. It was an awesome scene. Had his boys up there, Waylon and Luke, and as I say, doing this and seeing the home team get so revved up, they had the time of their lives, and then they had the lull. And the lull is, I think they're 10 to noon Eastern, and they don't play it till a night game. You get the full build-up, and then it's just your
You lose to
quarterback
the
gets
you
hurt.
lose to the
Yeah.
angry Muppet.
Yeah. So that was tough. But good for his kids. They had fun. Back to Pie Gal.
No, I guarantee you called it. I know it right now. I'm not gonna have the patience. Is it takes too long, like poker? That's why I don't play poker.
Oh,
I got no patience. I need to know. I need an immediate
quick.
a reaction, a transaction. What, did I win or lose?
Oh, you're going to know really quick, but it depends how many people are at the table.
Well, we'll establish some sort of setup where it's just there'll be private
As
gaming.
I
You, me, and somebody. No, but it
As
seems
I
like it'd be way more fun if there was more people, and I want them all to be smoking. Then maybe I'll smoke. Hey, you got a? Give me a butt. Who's got a Lucy? Anybody got a Lucy for your boy? Come on. Then I need a pack. I'm not smoking. There'll be no smoking. At this point, I'd pass out and could be the end of me.
You're still watching Colorado State.
No, it's just they got an ad for the Herd on. He got in the Hall of Fame. Radio. Congrats to the Herd. Colin Cowherd. I'm just trying to figure out how all this shit's going to get back in these boxes that they gave me to bring up here. It's in a lot of stuff you got to drag around and hook up.
Welcome.
Yeah, but you're capable. I'm not. I'm just.
And you're gonna sit up.
You know what though? I had an
say,
epiphany.
"This
I had an
is
epiphany on a
stupid."
couple things. You could do is life. An excuse, or you can make an effort. What are you gonna do? Make an effort.
Just try.
Figure it out. Got my guy Oscar on the blower. He talked me through it. Here we are. It's 1:45. I'm in the heartbeat.
There you go.
What's open late? I'm gonna go back to the mobile. Me and Tabucky are gonna see what's what.
Don't get headed too far on north on 91.
I'm good. I'm back in my old familiar haunts. What else? I again, my apologies. Flying blind on a lot of this. Try my best to be somewhat aware. The big man, his opinions matter far more than mine. Any results?
You were right next to it.
What?
The rent.
Duke,
Coach
UConn?
Mora, yeah. Their 3 losses are all in overtime. Let's get them in the playoff talk for the group of 5. They're independent. The only other one is Notre Dame.
Who's gonna be that play? Who's gonna be that team?
I've asked everyone. They say they rank the group of 5 until they get one, or they keep ranking teams until they get to the group of 5. This week,
because Tulane they hung on for dear life against Memphis.
And Memphis was the team that
had the best
the
odds
highest
before.
ranked. So now you got Navy coming in. They get blown up by Notre Dame. It doesn't mean anything, but their quarterback didn't play tonight. So I don't know how
Horvath
that
didn't
throws.
play?
No.
Oh goodness.
And I still think JMU, San Diego State's getting pounded out on the island. What do we got here? Yeah, they're down 24-6 at half. I thought they might have a chance. I think this is setting up for James Madison. But that Louisville loss tonight hurts James Madison. Oh, God.
So
what a debacle.
That's kind of, I know. I don't know who has the inside track. I will say
it's going to
this,
be South Florida.
They'd be the
I would
most
guess.
fun just because their quarterback's so capable. I will say that the Tulane kit, they got a spectacular uniform combinations. They got early Kyler bowed up on the helmet, and it's you know what it is? It's that a lot of people do the light blue, but they do the green with the light blue that you think, I don't know if that sounds like it's going to look good. Tulane they're perfected it.
Yeah.
Magnificent uniforms. And they held on down there against Memphis. I thought Memphis was going to do the same thing they did to South Florida. They tried.
That was the most American game ever.
It really was. It really was.
They're up 38-17. You're the road team. You did whatever you wanted offensively. You come out. You just got to hold on to a 21-point lead.
Nope.
They don't score another point. It's 38-32. Memphis has the ball, and you're just hold on to your butts.
Yeah, but they got home a bunch on blitzes, and they brought pressure when they needed to.
Retzlaff was unbelievable.
Agreed, but
in the first half.
But on defense, they brought pressure that led to sacks and a couple of critical turnovers, and then they get a first down and ended the game.
How about Corn getting a win out at the Rose Bowl?
7-point win, 1 score win for Nebraska.
Yeah.
Congratulations to them.
Florida State lost.
They're going to fire him?
24-10.
Okay. Norvell?
I don't think that's a good loss.
Okay. I mean, because everybody figured that the buzzers were circling if they lost to Wake Forest, and then they beat the brakes off the Deacons, and now you lose to a Clemson team that's been obviously not going to make the playoff as we projected. So
yeah, you're 4-5 now in Tallahassee, and you're 1-0. I don't think those buzzers are going to stop chasing.
Understood.
You know.
Understood.
But yeah, I just want Jim Mora at UConn. Somebody said he's won his 16 of his last 21 games at the Rent. That's remarkable.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job there. I mean, we had fun when he came in because he spent some time working for us, and we had that great sound thing about friggin' disaster and whatever. But he came in and they were it was after Edsel, right? And they were terrible.
Oh, it was after Diaco and after, oh God, I don't even know who the coaches were.
I'm telling you, it was Edsel
bad.
Part 2.
It was the worst job in America. Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm looking it up. We're going to end with this important note. I'm guarantee I'm right. I guarantee. Shout to Charles Barkley. I know for a fact. I'm also guessing. No, really.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it was Pasqualoni, Diaco, Edsel Part 2,
Edsel back. Yeah.
Lou Spanos, interim.
Louis.
Jim Mora.
Shout out Coach Mora. All right. To your point, in the American Conference, Navy 5-1, South Florida 4-1, Tulane 4-1, North Texas 4-1, and also 4-1. No quarter.
Don't let
East Carolina get hot. Don't let them get hot. Please.
No quarter.
Please.
I sent Russillo the picture of the East Carolina guy from Sundance Square, and I said, and in the history of whatever we did, nothing will ever make me laugh more than that. Nothing. The most perfect representation of whatever our dumbass time together was some guy in Fort Worth, Texas, on a 3-degree day, holding up a sign that says ECU. I love whoever that man is with all of my soul.
There was nobody there.
I beg your pardon. There was that man. And then what I never noticed is there are like 4 people doing interpretive dance or some shit on the side. I don't even know what it is. Doesn't make any difference. All I see is that happy-ass guy with the East Carolina sign.
Oh, man.
Okay. It's late. We got to get up and head back home so we can go home and work tomorrow night and do the show, and then fly to Lambeau where it's fucking 3 degrees.
Yeah, I just want to touch on that real quick. First, my man Buddy Beach is the owner of Las Brisas Restaurant Steakhouse, the best place there is in Lubbock, Texas. The man is an absolute American dream story, the best dude that you can meet in Lubbock, Texas. I just want to shout him out because he was awesome.
All right, no. We can't just pass over this like this. What was the cut of meat that you selected? Was it a ribeye? Was it a bone-in? I bet you down there they don't mess with bone-in. I think bone-in is a fake construct. They're like, we're taking the bone out. Just give you more meat. What'd you eat?
All right. So I did it again. I tried it again because I got pressured. The first night, I went to Buddy Beach's spot, and Mike, the waiter, came over. He's like, we got the Wagyu. And I'm like, I like domestic better. I've had the Wagyu alongside the domestic, and you try it out and all that. I get it. And I said, am I an asshole if I order a New York strip? He's like, we have filet. I'm like, so I'm the asshole. I got the strip. It was the best strip I've had in 10 years.
Okay.
It was unbelievable. And the next night I got the Wagyu. I like the New York strip domestic steaks better than the Wagyu.
And that's fine. Do you apologize to no one for liking. There are people out there that if you were.
He said I didn't have to apologize. And if Buddy Beach says I don't have to apologize, I'm not apologizing.
Don't. To who? For what? For liking something? I like it. I'm eating it, not you. That's the answer. Some people like medium well. Oh, what's wrong with you? Hey, fucko, I'm eating the steak, not you. If you like it rare, bleeding, I don't care. Eat it, enjoy. Steve wants the strip, not the Wagyu. I always call it Wagyu because I think of Swagoo. Hey, Scott. Hey, get the Wagyu. If you like the strip, that's great. Do they have delicious sides, or do they just bring plates of meat?
I sound stupid saying this, but the meat.
Steve, the whole show's stupid. Everything we do is stupid. It's like Pie Got Poker stupid.
It's such good meat. The meat, like we had Evie's today, the barbecue joint. Like they brought out like a barbecue turkey. It was unbelievable. I'm like, I'm gonna eat the turkey. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll have a rib. Had a rib. They had the brisket. The turkey was absolutely incredible. It was the best meat plate I've ever seen in my life.
Our friends text thread watching game day, they said the food looks so good. I bet it was
unbelievable. Best barbecue I've ever seen and had.
Okay.
Mac and cheese, garlic mash, asparagus.
Have you guys said where you're going next week?
Oh, we have not.
Huh?
We have not.
Well, wherever it is, just the stakes have been raised in terms of the stakes, the literal stakes, and the food.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Act accordingly.
Best meals, I've said.
Act accordingly.
Equipment manager for Texas Tech, Dane, Coach McGuire said, Steve, anything you need this week, let me know. I said, Coach, where's your equipment manager? Because I'm going to Green Bay, and I need them layers. So, Dane, actually, I got it right here.
You got the underneath layers?
No, and I got a winter coat. We're going to try the 3 straps this week for bad beats. That's a winter coat right there.
All right.
So we know that proper companies do their things, but shout out to Dane.
Hey, man, it's self-preservation. Keep warm. We don't, sponsors, I don't know if there's things to concern ourselves with.
We got gloves still in the bag. We got long socks. We got long johns. Dane and Texas Tech crew.
Shout out Dane.
Very much. We're going to need it.
You just make friends everywhere you go. I love that.
They're as good a people as there are in America in Lubbock, Texas.
Wow.
I firmly stand on that.
And I'll say this, wherever you go, you're always excited, you always enjoy the company, but you don't say that lightly, so we'll leave on that. Guns up to Lubbock. Shout out to the finest people in America that Steve's encountered. That's Lubbock, Texas. I'll see you in Green Bay in a couple days, all bundled up in your gear.
Do you have any Diet Coke left?
It's in the fridge. But again, just keep in mind.
Shout out to Bucky Jones.
8-time consecutive best sportscaster of the year, according to Kevin and the guys he golfs with in Scottsdale and Pinehurst. Ernie Johnson, Mike Tirico, sorry.
Kenny Mayne.
This guy right here.
That guy right there.
Appreciate y'all being with us. We'll see you Wednesday to react to the college rankings. That's all.